Check, check. Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to what is effectively the second attempt at this stream. We were live a little bit earlier today for the planned Elon stream, Elon presentation, which never appeared to happen. He seemed to have delayed that. So here we are, back for the follow-up stream here. The actual launch of Flight 9. We're about 15 minutes away, actually we're about 5 minutes away from the SpaceX stream starting, so that is always a good time. Hello Black Shadow. Good to see you. Let me get the ping real quick. That link might have been the wrong link. Oh, my Discord froze. Nah. I've never had Discord freeze before. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, okay, rip. Goodbye, Discord. Let's try that again. I don't know if you guys even got the link or not. I feel like my monitor's done something. No, Discord is just like actually broken. Discord, hello? Do I need to get the task manager out? Do I need to get the task manager out? Nine. Like, look here, guys. I tried to like send my ping. Oh my god, it's so broken. Oh my god, like look, it's sent? Okay, well if it's sent then cool. Sorry, but I don't think Discord is like literally completely I can't. Oh. Is it? No, I just clicked that. Okay. So I guess Discord is broken for today's but did you did it send? Did it send? I'm just gonna assume it sent and not worry about that anymore because you have a cool Starship launch to work. Restart PC? Yeah, I mean maybe, but the rest of my computer is working fine. So it's just the just Discord seems to have completely broken on me. G'day from Australia. Good to see you. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. I'm running on, I mentioned this at the beginning of the earlier stream. Oh my god, everything just reset. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry, everybody. What are you guys even looking at? Oh, now you're looking at that. Now you're looking at gray. We want to be looking at SpaceX stream. There we go. Hey, Parker. Let me get recombobulated here. Oh my god, what in Hindi? Good day. T-minus, I think we're still targeting the beginning of the window at 30 minutes in the hour. I guess this is Discord now. I just needed to make sure my monitor didn't do something funky, did it? You just press this button, that'll remove any funk. Alright, less funk, good. Sorry, it's midnight. Yeah, midnight. Yeah, I saw we have the prop. Yeah, I know time zones can be a bit weird. There, because of it being summer and sunset being later. Presumably, that's I'm assuming why the launches are getting later and later and later. Because I think they want to get re-entry, as much of re-entry in daylight as possible for the ship, so they might as well launch as close to sunset as possible at the launch site location. So I think many of our European friends are going to be unable to join us this fine evening for a very, I don't know why the thumbnail is like 240p, but that's fine. That's fine. We're cruising. No problem. If it goes well, I won't be able to see the entire stream, so if I don't see you again, have a good day. Alright. It's 4 a.m. Oof. You gotta be like Eastern Europe then, right? Because, I mean, it's like midnight in UK, like 1, 2 a.m. in Germany, and then... I'm doing good, Roblox. How are you doing? Like maybe 3 or 4 in Romania, Turkey, Greece? I don't know. I don't know how many time zones. Indian. Oh, it's 4 a.m. in India only. Oh. I guess there's not that many time zones in... not as many time zones in Europe as I thought. Sorry if I sound a little nasally. I feel a little nasally. Hey, isn't it 5:50? Shouldn't we be starting? It's 5:51. Oh my god, they're late! Don't blow up again. Yeah, we want... God, Ship 35 better survive. The world will end if Ship 35 does not survive Taseko. Because, I mean, man, 3 second stage failures in a row would be brutal. Refresh, is it live? Gonna get rid of this 240p. We're live! Alright, we don't need their music. And I don't need another copyright strike because Nintendo... Oh, we have 4K finally! Golly! Nintendo decided to get annoying lately. Alright, and we have 4K finally on Twitter. So thank you, Elon, for that. Spoiling goes straight to Black 3. I'm not seeing it live. Just, yeah, try refreshing if you don't see it. It'll come on within a minute or two. I don't know. I don't know what... I mean, I think... I mean, what is it? Booster 18 is supposed to be Block 3. I don't know what ship is supposed to be Block 3 or not. Because what is it? Ship 35? You know, if I'm being totally honest, I haven't kept up with the Starship as much as I would have liked to lately. So I don't actually... what's the status of 36 and 37? Should I just go on Twitch? Well, they don't, just go to Twitter. They don't, I mean, they wouldn't be live directly on Twitch. Or YouTube, for that matter. Sometimes the website might be weird. I've heard Ship 39 might be Block 3. Okay. Like, we're starting to see, I know from the little segment of Tim, I don't know if that interview from Tim... The 10 minutes that we got that he posted on Twitter earlier today was the entire interview, or if they got more, or because it seems like Elon did a couple interviews at least today. I saw Sandy Monroe was tweeting a little bit, so I don't know if he did just kind of rapid fire through all the people. Everyone got like a little 10-minute segment. But I don't know. Hopefully we get some more info from Elon. Is Twitch different from Twitter? Or yeah, very different. One of them is owned by Jeff. Twitch. Yeah, go to Twitter. Hey, Geopolitics 1649 is finally back from lunch. Yes, sir, I am, Mott Scanley. But it seems like Cookie has already fallen asleep, so he's not here to ask me questions about wars and stuff. No, only rockets today, it seems like. And the stream didn't get delayed, and there was no, like, little... Looks like they're still... I mean, we got the Go for Proplo tweet a little bit ago. You got it now, Roblox? Awesome. Oh, here we go. Oh, this will just be the little video. It looks like they're hitting the top of the window. Is anyone else's stream a little bit choppy? This looks a little choppy. I don't know if this is them, the 4K. The wars, yeah, start one. Yeah, I'm gonna invade my neighbor. It's gonna be a war. This almost looks a little choppy, this 4K stream, right? A little stuttery. Does this... I don't know if anyone else is noticing this, or I'm just kind of imagining things. Like, doesn't that look not completely smooth? If it goes first try... I mean, yeah, there was quite a big delay between... Quite a big lead time for this. That looks weird. Yeah. I think we have a good chance of going. It was Flight 8 didn't go first try, I remember. It had a scrub. I don't exactly remember what it was, but I remember it took 2 attempts to get that one through. To load a Chrome tab. Vulcan, what are you doing with the Chromebook? You should be using a Nokia flip phone. Just blipped there for a second.
Yeah, my first time here, and it is mind-blowing. I went out to the pad this morning, and the scale of the vehicle is just insane.
Dwarfs every.
Like, Jessie got unfired. She's been missing from the last couple streams, so she's back. I see ya. Enjoy the Spanish, bro.
City in Texas, and we'll have more on that a little bit later today.
Yeah, right now though we are
New UI.
down to Starship's 9th flight.
I wonder if this will run smoother if I do it in 1080p. Hello, furries.
6:30 p.m. Central Time. Good news right up front.
No, it's still a little choppy.
With the vehicle, weather is gorgeous out there right now. Rain this morning, little bit of wind, nothing now, nothing to worry about. Looking good for a launch.
Starship development is moving quickly here at Starbase. So fast, in fact, that we already are reflying the Super Heavy booster.
Yeah. Let me just see if this is my monitor being weird. Oh, my monitor might be a little funky. Oh, Discord fixed. Yay. Alright, my LinkedIn post. This will probably be someone. Yeah, this monitor is a little funky I have here. Oh well. I'm using a temporary backup monitor because, well, reasons. Actually, it looks smoother. Doesn't full screen look a little choppy to you guys? Your pre-launch nap, yeah. Yeah, I guess depending on top. Why are we having so many drop frames? Oh my god. Oh, I know why.
Progress is not measured by single flight tests. It's whatever that timeline overall is, and getting us closer to establishing self-sustaining civilization on Mars, making life multiplanetary. Every time we're learning something from these flights that will get us there, that is progress.
Exactly. Starship is the first orbital launch vehicle engineered to be fully reusable and built for frequent flight and heavy payloads, just like today's commercial airliners.
It's the product of years of rapid development, testing, iteration. We're trying to fly as frequently as possible, fix problems as they appear, and then fly again. It all started here at Starbase back with Starhopper. It was a small single Raptor prototype. Kind of looked like a water tower. We turned it into a water tower eventually. It made its first low altitude hop back in 2019 here at Starbase. You could tell the pad, that's the pad that we were just looking at. It looks dramatically different now, 2 towers. But Starhopper delivered. It was able to prove that we could use that Raptor engine for controlled takeoff and landing.
And that is so wild to see that there on your screen was just 6 years ago, and now we're here today with a full-size vehicle. So from there, we moved to full-size test.
Let me see if I can. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. We seem to be having major buffering issues. Why does this happen every gosh darn stream? It's starting to piss me off. Why are we dropping every darn frame? What's going on? Sorry guys, I'll get checked up on chat here in a second. But we are losing every darn frame. Why? Oh my god. Wait, are we good? Did I fix it? Did it stop buffering? Oh my god, did it finally stop? Alright, chat. Yeah, this is a great desktop image, absolutely. You guys, do you guys receive me? Am I alive again? Oh. The stream just died on my screen. I think we might be back. Giving you money? Well, thank you. Alright, try again. I think we're back. I don't see any drop frames in a minute. 28 million or 28 money. Sorry, God, I trust as midnight. It might be back. Here, try refreshing. Well, I don't know. If you guys can't hear me because it's dead, but I haven't dropped a frame in like a couple minutes here, so let me try bringing these people back. Hello.
1,060 metric tons, which if you're keeping a score at home, that's the same weight as about 10 Millennium Falcons. It's heavy.
That's a lot of Millennium Falcons,
So
Dan.
How do we know how much a Millennium Falcon weighs, Dan? I guess Dan just knows these things. Good frames now, yeah.
And we're hoping to bring that online.
I think we're
later this year
fixed.
as well. Tons of progress with Starship so far in 2025, and lots of incredible milestones.
Yeah, it looks
still
like we
coming
may
up.
have just
And
we
are
had
still on track to lift off tonight at
roadblock. We had a little bit of a technical issue, it appears, which seems to happen every stream, and now it's happening again. Oh my god! How does this keep happening? Okay, stand by. Hello. Okay, here, let me lower the bitrate and I'll restart the stream real quickly. I'm gonna have to, unless we're good, but I might have to. Hello, Elon?
But as we develop a vehicle like Starship, we want as many experts watching over its various systems as we can. And that's what we use the mission control room here in Hawthorne for during Starship.
There's
flight
like
tests
4
like
people
today's.
here. There's
The
no
folks
one
in
here.
Mission control, which you see now on your screen, are the
They've all
responsible engineers
left.
for Starship's various systems. This includes things like booster systems, stage propellant, our ground stations, flight software, the loads, and the vehicle structures as well. And having this support gives the
Oh, am I
flight teams and
OMing?
surveys immediate access to our engineers' knowledge, which is really, really important when we're making informed decisions very quickly in a test program like this. This setup has been great for Starship flight tests so far, as we've handled things like propellant temperature differences, as well as day of launch winds that can affect the loads placed on Starship structures during launch.
All right,
and
let's pull
particularly
out
during the
our
descent of
favorite
super
friend,
heavy
Task
booster back
Manager.
to Earth.
What's
So
going on
having
here?
those responsible engineers ready to support is crucial during Starship testing. where
We're-
we
we're
take
fine.
our in-flight conditions
Okay,
quickly
we're looking
prepare
good here.
and make the
Everything,
best
there's nothing
and most
breaking
reliable
here.
rocket that we can. So it's definitely a full house, a growing full house here in Hawthorne for our
Can
ninth
someone
flight of
explain to
Starship
me
today. Every flight brings us a step closer
why
to
the
a
stream is
future where
buffer? Look, I
Starship is
mean,
flying multiple
oh,
times a day,
upload.
and
Let me try
I'm
that
sure
again.
you all feel the same way
Okay,
down there in
download's
Texas,
fine.
Dan and Jesse, but I can't wait to see Starships launch.
Upload.
How about you?
Yeah, can't wait to see it, Chris. As you can see, props loading on the vehicle is just a little under 2 miles.
Yeah,
away
yeah,
from
okay,
us,
download's
and
fine, we got
we're
it.
Really excited. Looking back.
Okay,
real quick, so back in March,
that is better.
Starship's
This is fine.
test saw us catch the super heavy booster for the
Point
third
1, yeah,
time
that's
ever,
a little
and a great
rough.
step on that path to
Hey,
full
stop
and
going
rapid
down.
usability.
Why is it going down?
Unfortunately, the Starship upper stage did experience what
Yeah,
we
it
call a
says
rapid, unscheduled
very
disassembly
fast.
before it finished its
My
stage,
memory's
which
fine,
meant
my
we reached all of
CPU's
those
fine,
original
my
mission objectives that we had set.
about 5.5
GPU
minutes
is
into
fine,
the
we're not
ship's ascent
running out of
flight, a
VRAM or
hardware
anything.
failure
Okay,
in
I'm
one
just
of
gonna hope the
sea-level
stream
Raptor engines took out that engine, the 2 remaining
being
sea-level
bottlenecked,
engines,
yeah.
and
I
a
am, yeah.
vacuum engine. That's 4 of the 6 engines that ship has. This was a different failure
Okay.
than we saw on Flight 7, and the fixes
Was
that
it, though?
were put in place did work as expected.
Was
so
it,
this
though?
was a new issue on Flight 8. Now, welcome to
Of 8
iterative
kilobytes
engineering.
per second.
Losing
Oofdy.
hardware is a potential outcome of any test program.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Dan. If we start buffering again and if my stream starts dying again, I will just... Did it do it again? Okay. Yeah, we're dying here. Decided to throw a fit and just launch 140p at 3000 ping. That is brutal, man. Okay, we're gonna have to, just because I don't want it to buffer during the actual launch. Mother Russia. Because I want it to buffer to the actual launch, I'm gonna just restart the stream at a lower bit rate just to see if we can mitigate some of these problems. Oh yeah, I see that, Vulcan. Chromebooks, man, right? Yeah, let me restart real quick just so we don't freaking buffer during the, because my computer clearly cannot handle. I don't know if it's trying to upload in 4K. That would also be why. If I can get it to stop trying to upload in 4K, because the screen is 4K. The screen that is capturing is 4K, but I am trying to. I'm only streaming in 1080p, so it's like if it's actually capturing the 4K, it is literally wasting it. Output scale resolution. No, it is actually scaling to. Yeah. Well, none of that's even enabled. Let me lower the bitrate, and I'll be right back to you guys. Let me lower the bitrate. I'll put a little thing in the chat. Pin. All right, one moment, folks. Are we back? I genuinely cannot tell if we're back or not right now. Resolution. No, it is actually. No, I just played myself. I think we're back. Is this thing working? Okay, I think we have re-engaged the stream here. We're back. Okay. We have re-engaged the stream. I've lowered the bitrate, and I have lowered the FPS. So maybe, hopefully, ideally, this thing stops buffering. Plzz, thank you. Okay, now let's listen up to this rocket.
First, we did this short duration single engine burn.
Oh, maybe they'll talk about the failure that they had, or the weird engine explosion.
Those smaller tanks up in the nose cone.
Let's see.
We also completed a longer duration 60-second burn with all 6 engines. So where you're really putting the entire propulsion system that's going to be used for the ship's ascent into space through the paces, making sure everything's working together before we go stack it on the pad.
And in the end, these changes represent the core of our test program.
What about the other? What about the one where the engine exploded? You didn't talk about that one, man.
So early in the flight test program. Now,
I think we're good.
Just over 30 flights.
And Starship's doing it today
Good one.
on just its 9th flight. It's not wild. Just
yeah, I mean they are cheap. You're right.
Just how much bigger Starship
Fine,
is.
it was so loud. Oof.
Can lift about 23 metric tons into orbit.
Unfortunate.
Designed to
oh, I deleted the message. I didn't unpin it. Jeez,
so
I'm stupid.
And on top of that, we're also reflying
Raptor.
314 for its
Oh, they're gonna get rid of Raptor, aren't they? If they're gonna, because they're gonna be popping this thing.
The nozzle, and there you can see.
Because they're gonna be popping it.
It is a milestone,
Nah.
most definitely, but we do remain
Seeing the
focused
chat was
on
full of
getting to the point where
with
no
full plug out here
refurbishment
for
is
that. Yeah,
needed.
that's unfortunate. I mean,
that means we want to launch.
well, I guess Elon has kind of inserted himself, or hoisted that conversation upon our community by dint of him being who he is. But you know. Oh, cool.
We're coming to you today from Star Factory.
I think this is a new video.
I
think this
facility
says,
in Starbase, Texas. The Super Heavy booster is the first
Price
stage
point
of the
came out.
Starship
Cool.
launch vehicle stack.
Cool.
It's the largest boost stage ever.
Pet food ad,
developed
huh? Maybe,
ever.
I don't know.
Having the
I don't have a
largest
pet at the
rocket
current
is
moment,
a very
but,
cool engineering feat, but the thing that really makes a difference is
Gonna
the
kill
ability
Raptor. I know it's horrible.
to
Maybe
use
they'll
that
fish it
rocket
out and fly it
to
again.
any other missions.
Put it in a museum. Actually, might be better.
Reflying
It belongs in a
is
museum.
an important first milestone in that we have proven that we can recover a vehicle turn it around and fly it a second time. But it's not a victory lap yet.
First bat. Oh wow, that's
An
old.
ideal state looks like a vehicle where very few things have to happen on it in order to take back off again. So we catch the vehicle, put it back onto launch mount, put a new ship back on top with its payload, refuel, and take back off. And that same booster will come back to launch mount, and we do the same thing all over again.
That's the idea.
Falcon is, reusing at a pretty high rate. And we
Yeah,
get to go
scam
look
ad.
and say, what did
Well,
you learn?
that's no
what is
fun.
good, what is bad? And as we continue to build the Starship process.
Zero-touch refurbishment really looks like a commercial airliner. The advantage we have on booster.
That guy looks
relative to
really
when we
hot
developed
and
Falcon
sticky.
9,
I don't-
for
he just-
instance, is this was really designed from
The
the
sweat was
outset
bleeding.
for
His
rapid
sweat was bleeding
reusability.
through the screen and
Using
onto
all of
me.
the flight test learnings from our version 1 and
Sold.
version 2 vehicles
Yeah,
in our
I mean, it
Orbital
sounds
flight test
old.
campaign to inform the
Ooh,
design
that's
of
a
our
cool
version
shot.
3 vehicle.
That's a really cool shot.
The next generation vehicle will be the first time that we've really attempted to make rapidly reusable thermal protection on a rocket. In the next iteration, we'll be able to add
Yeah.
new innovative
You
materials,
really want to look at it that way?
regenerative cooling that will enable rapid zero-touch refurbishment.
Look how sweaty that dude looks. I mean, seriously.
Turn the vehicle around and refly again immediately is really the key goal of the Starship.
Well, let's get on it then. 17 minutes and we're flying.
It is so cool to see our teams working together as Starship is learning from Falcon with reusability, and now we're seeing Starship use
Moist,
the
very
same thing
moist.
today.
I mean, it is very,
So all
very
eyes on
humid
the
out there.
rocket on the pad, getting ready to launch in
Why did
just
my
about
stream just die?
17 minutes from now.
That's right.
Why did I just get a-
Looking at our levels real quick, we're a little bit more than halfway full on fuel and locks on the booster, over 80% full on the ship. So
I have no idea what just happened.
But everything looking good. We're not tracking any issues.
Why? I don't know why my stream just died there for a literally it just disappeared. I have no idea what happened. Why did my stream? I have literally nothing. I didn't see anything happen on my end. Did YouTube just do that to me? Did YouTube just think my stream was not deserved of viewers and take it away? Like, look, it's look. There's zero lost frames. What happened? Why did my stream die for a second? I lost all my viewers. Nah. Is that live? Are the sticks moving right now? No, I think that's just the angle of the drone.
They kind of stagger where we start with ship and then move into booster.
It's kind of
We're
not
gonna
up to date.
continue
How do you
with
know?
these propellants on board
The ship and
until just
booster
about
propped.
3 minutes before liftoff. We'll close out on the ship.
I mean, that
first,
looks fairly
and then on the
accurate,
booster,
right?
But bottom line,
Am I in
everything's
40p?
looking great.
I'm at
Not tracking
1080.
any vehicle issues, range issues, weather issues.
Bandicam, right?
We're looking really good right now for a launch at the top of our window right
Awesome.
at 6:30.
They haven't hit tops windows in a
See,
while.
Propellant loading is making this getting
Big old vent
more
there
and
at the
more
top.
exciting.
I'm not
Today is
totally
going to
fully
be a
accustomed to all the
wild
vents
ride
on
for
the
Super
top,
Heavy.
on the
We're
Block
going
2
to
ships yet, so I
separate
don't quite
tests,
totally
expand the envelope on its capabilities and get
can
flight data
identify
to
them
make
as
its
easily
return
as I
test
could
more
with
reliable. Now, another
even
unique
Block
change
1,
to
but even
today's
before that,
flight
the
will be
Ascents, I could
addition
really
of
get a
the
good
first
idea
ever
of.
directional
I really had to get
flight
idea of all
the
the
booster.
events.
That's right. If you followed previous flights and you kind of wondered to yourself,
booster
why
looks
does the
like a
direction of the booster
friggin'
flip seem
B7.
random? Surprise! It's
Because the
it was.
ship's flags are different than
We've
the
got a
flaps on
couple
the.
of views from
Yeah,
previous
I
flights
mean,
where you'll see
yeah, you have the.
booster kind
I don't
of
remember
go
that like
in
big black
different
paint
directions,
panel
and
thing
it
going
was
up the
really
side on
small
other ones.
differences
I
in the
think I
front
assume that's a
of the ship
cosmetic
as
thing.
you
Engine
start
shows charted,
up
awesome. I should
the
probably.
booster in an initial direction.
This was crazy, by the way.
Booster
I don't really have a chance to really talk about this before, but the fact that apparently, I've seen some discussion about people trying to figure out why the booster flipped different directions for different flights. Apparently, it was just completely random, and it just flipped whatever direction that the ship pushed it in, or the booster. The booster just flipped in whatever direction the ship happened to push it in, which is just crazy. And just whatever it goes, whatever way it goes. That is
Adding more velocity to ship
Peak
and increasing how
SpaceX
much payload
engineering.
it can ultimately deliver to space.
Yeah, so today
But on engine
we're-
failures?
I got my trusty Super Heavy here. We're gonna
Oh, yeah.
intentionally try to flip straight.
I've seen some funny memes about the Super Heavy, like people have, because if you look at Flight 7, and then Flight 7 had some failures on the boost back, Flight 8 had even more failures on the boost back, and then it had a failure on the landing burn, so people are saying that it's going to like boost back with half the engines and relight with like a third of them, which it's almost trying to do. I don't remember, there might have been an engine out on the Ascent burn for Flight 8, I don't remember. Does anyone remember if there was an Ascent burn failure on Flight 8? Where they didn't light an engine? There haven't been any like in-flight failures, right? like during the process of, well, I mean, on the ascent burn for the booster. I don't think engines have failed after liftoff. Basically, they just weren't turned on. Had one jet out during the landing. Yeah, but was it out during ascent? Was it 33 lit on ascent? I think it was. I know Flight 4 had one out. Flight 4 had one. I didn't remember if Flight 8 had one out, which is because Flight 8 has so many engine failures. I'm just trying to remember if one of them had failed before the separation. Anyway, before Pico or Miko or whatever you want to call it.
Launch pad. As you might have heard earlier, we're going to be doing what's called a higher angle
Still
of attack.
crazy to me that people see rocket engines as reliable. If I made a jet engine with this reliability, not a single company would use it. That's true. Well, I mean, rocket engines and jet engines are very, very different things, right? Like, starting a rocket engine is substantially harder than starting a jet engine. Raptor has been, and because of all the different orientation, right? Like, if you took a jet engine, like a regular commercial airliner jet engine, and started flipping it around and doing twists and turns like they're doing on, if we did that to a CFM56, it would probably die. It would almost definitely die, as the Raptors have been doing, just because of reasons. And you're dealing with orders of pressures that are orders of magnitude higher. 7, 8 failed during hot stage. Yeah. I flipped randomly due to hot stage holes pointing every direction, but this that was one of the. That's a very interesting improvement. I'm interested to see. Stay up latency on. Well, we have no idea when it is. If he's gonna talk like an hour after launch, sure. If it's gonna be like, I'll watch it no matter what. It's just if I want to stream it or not. Heck, no V3 looked like a pencil stop at SpaceX. I think, well, for some of the ideas we've seen, some of the renders that I've seen at least of what it seems like V3 is going to look like, it's not going to be as bad as the original renders that SpaceX had like a year or two ago. Just needs to be spinning. To start a Raptor needs the turbo pumps to spin up in a very specific way. Yeah, and it needs to have the pressures. Yeah, I mean, that Raptor has to operate in a very narrow band of pressure where you actually are producing thrust, and you're not. It needs to be high enough to produce thrust, and low enough to not melt the engine, which is a very fine balance to maintain. And you need the propellants to be flowing at precisely the right levels and right rates, or else you're going to get stoichiometric and you're going to get burning and SN8ing. If you get too oxygen rich, if you get too fuel rich, you're losing thrust, you're losing a lot of efficiency, you're not going to make it to orbit like that. And some cool developments, rocket engine tech with RDEs, so let's see where that goes. I'm not familiar. I'll have to. A jet engine does. You are right, Lampeter. There does need to be. Well, I mean, a jet engine is a little more, kind of a little more complicated than a piston. It's almost less complicated than a piston engine, because a jet engine just needs basically just enough. It just needs to sustain the combustion to keep going, and it's not that hard to get the combustion going again. A rocket engine. You can make a jet engine at home. Hi, Bob and Doug. I'm trying to think. Can you? I'm thinking if I can make a jet engine. And do I have the necessary things in this house to make a jet engine? 3D print rocket fuel. Well, because a jet engine, it just depends how high pressure. I guess you just need gas and air, right? And then a motor to spin the. I guess you could just make a jet engine. You can make a jet engine with a turbocharger. I don't think you can. I don't think a jet engine with a turbocharger is physically possible, because a jet engine is a turbocharger. It's like if a piston engine. A jet engine is like if a piston engine ran on only turbochargers. It's kind of Reddit. We got sirens. Awesome. I should probably start. No, we don't need the promo video. We don't need sound for the promo video. Why don't we convert a soda can into a jet engine? Lack of spinning. But we could, if you put the spinning bits inside. That would be Fram 3. We haven't had any stuttering, which is great. It's been quite a bit of a while. We did have the stream randomly die, but... Alright, 8.5 minutes. Let's see what's going on.
and I cannot
Oh,
wait
is
to
it?
see us make it a reality.
No, 0 drop
Right there
frames
with
for
you,
me,
Chris.
so YouTube.
It's the fact that we're getting close to that being reality, that the vehicle that's going to go is sitting on the pad right there. Like, that's endlessly exciting.
I haven't
That's
dropped
gonna
any
include
frames.
sending humans, all of the
122 minutes
infrastructure
school
for
night, but
permanent
it's
presence on Mars.
well, it's one of the last
And
school nights, so
we're
I'm sure
looking
it
ahead to sending the very first
sure it don't
Starship
matter
to
unless you're in
Mars
Australia
as
and then
early
your
as
school
next year.
season is like in the middle
This
of
will help
school
prove
year.
that we can actually
Technically,
get
can't
to
make a
Mars with
degenerate
focus on
interpreter. It
learning
just
as much as
require
possible while
better
demonstrating what
modifications.
will
Yeah,
be
but why
needed for
would
Mars
you?
transit and landing.
Because the purpose of a
Before we dive
turbocharger is just to pressurize the air going into the pistons, and that's what like the like. Right, like here, let me. Oh my God, like this front bit does like the same thing as the turbocharger. So like, I'm not sure how you would. I guess you could just have another bit that would also be a turbocharger, but yeah. Reminds me of the Chimera engine, which is a turbojet ramjet engine that can go hypersonic. I can see someone make an SSTO with that type of engine IRL. Yeah, I mean, for an SSTO, you need to have the engine to be able to switch into rocket mode or have separate rocket engines, which then is kind of inefficient. So, yeah.
Openings.
And this is my first time
Rapier,
in
yep.
Starbase, and Dan, the Star Factory is a manufacturing engineer's dream.
Yes, it is. I think he meant use the turbocharger as the impeller for a radial engine. You're talking about a radial... Just so you know, Robo. Yeah, no, that's cool. But what do you mean? A radial jet engine? Well, that would be some, like, funky engineering. A radial jet engine? Or, like, a turbocharger... I guess you could have an air-breathing RDE. You can't really get more efficient than in terms of a combustion. What is an RDE? I feel like I probably know what that is. The acronym is not computing. If you upscale Starship by 400%, change the hydrogen, you can 200 tons DeLeo SSTO. Oh, cool. Problem very nearly finished. Yeah, I was trying to get up the mission timeline like 20 minutes ago, but I got distracted talking about gosh darn turbocharged jet engines. So let's get these guys up
All
again.
the airspace
What
and
happened to the other lady here that's usually here? I mean, Jessie's cool, but what happened to the other one? Jessie was like fired from the last stream, and the other lady, Kate, right? Kate Tice or whatever her name is. I didn't see her. She disappeared. Maybe she was fired. We know how much Elon likes to fire people. Okay, so prop load. So engine chill, yeah, we're past that. Flame deflector, we're before that. Ship prop load, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. So it looks like we're getting close to topping off.
2 more minutes. Once we're done with that, you've got just under 11 million pounds of
As in
liquid
radially
propellant
impelled
spread
jet
across
engine,
those
like
two
there are
stages.
linear jet
After
engines,
we
stuff
get
on
through all
airliners,
of that
and radial
prop
jet
load,
engines,
our
like the stuff
stage
on
zero will
helicopters
get
and
ready to
RC
ground
jets.
system
Okay, yeah,
through
that's
those
fair.
pushbacks, clearing all of those fluid feed lines back to
Rotating
the
detonate.
propellant
Oh yeah, I
getting ready
got
for
you.
launch.
I got you. Yeah,
We did
I'm
just see they
obviously
did a
familiar.
flap wiggle check, so the final flap check on
She's
the
probably
ship,
doing her actual
doing
job,
final
probably.
alignments of the guidance navigation
Probably.
control system, our thrust vector control, essentially
That
our
like
steering,
concrete wall is doing
check
a
out
lot of
the
work
flight
keeping
safety
that
system. So everything
keeping
progressing right
the vape
now.
smoke out.
If we do need to hold, that can come at T.
Yeah, I mean there are I guess I was just thinking in the context of like airliners and fighter jets and bombers and stuff like. In the context of that, a radial jet engine would be weird, but like for a helicopter, yeah, totally, yeah.
Currently tracking anything that will hold.
Although those are usually, I mean, it's not like they're really
If you've seen us
purely
launch
jet-powered
before,
helicopters.
it can
They're,
happen,
you know,
we can push through them and then launch that day still.
Exactly.
turbo prop. I mean, it's just a propeller driven by a jet, which is,
will
you know.
occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition
I turn into
systems
jet engine
start at
after eating
flight
Taco
pressure.
Bell.
Ship goes to internal power, and then after that, the quick disconnect or QD.
I'll turn the
lockout is
volume up
removed
of these
in
guys when you get
preparation
closer to
for
launch.
retraction
I just like to be able to
shortly
hear
after
myself
T-0.
think.
And once we pass T-minus
Concrete
40
walls,
seconds, we
patties,
do
flame
still
trench,
have
yeah.
the ability to recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40
Yeah,
seconds.
but you're not
and then
gonna do
hold
that.
there to assess what happened and see if we can proceed again back down.
Okay, getting real here.
There are a
We
couple of
are
things kind of
20 seconds away
in
from
that
ship propellant
timeline. If
closeout.
we pass through that and we hit a hold, we'd have to scrub for the day.
No 40-second hold.
One will be if the water starts flowing for that deflector system.
Says beautiful clouds
underneath
of
the launch
oxygen,
mount. That happens
absolutely.
Right at around T-minus 10 seconds. For flowing water, we can't turn it off after it starts, and if we hit a hold, we're scrubbed.
Doesn't
for
end
the
like
day.
Starship 1. Well, that would be a
We
very
fill
bad
those water
situation.
tanks.
Alright, we
Also, at
should
that
be
point, you
done
can
with
refill
ship
all
prop
the
load.
propellant tanks is
Should be
over
done with ship
1
prop
million
load.
pounds of propellant. It's a whole lot. We can typically do that in about
And
24
then
hours, so we can always turn around.
Booster
take
prop
again
load in
tomorrow.
about 15
But
seconds.
We are coming up on 3 minutes away
You
from
can see the new
liftoff.
roundabout they've installed.
We should be hearing that we're closed out of prop load on the ship at this point. Booster coming up
We
shortly.
should be, or we have.
Wow, the weather just looks
Should be done with
amazing
booster.
there with Starship.
Little,
pad.
what's the word I'm looking for? Not foggy, a little
about
hazy. A
2
little
minutes,
hazy out
45
there.
seconds from T0 with a lot of objectives for today.
We haven't heard any
The
mission
booster, the Super
control.
Heavy booster flying
I don't know if they're
today
just not
for its
broadcasting it, but we
second
haven't heard
time.
the propellant
Last
completion.
flight was on flight 7 and just turned around in 2 flights, which is pretty incredible.
Up, yeah.
I'm
Predict the
super
launch.
excited to
Fully
see
success.
that booster
Yeah, I
fly
don't know.
again.
Alright, we did just
40
hear we
feet.
are going to hold at T-minus 40 seconds.
Okay, we have a hold. I guess
So
just some
we'll
pressures are a little
pass along,
funked.
some more information once we hear that.
Or did it
reason.
break? Did something
But again,
break?
That's not the end of the day. We can hold at T-minus 40 seconds for quite a few minutes. We eventually have to start looking at our
something
temperature
break?
of all of our propellant on board. That's usually what drives us to, if we've held too long, we have to stand down for the day. So we are expecting
Okay,
a
well, hold.
at T-minus 40 seconds.
We held last time and I didn't get out of the hold, so.
Sounds like we're going to be doing some additional checkouts on the booster Raptor while we're at that T-minus 40-second mark. So
1 or 2 engine failures
we'll
on the
expect
booster and a
to see
clean
the
ship
clock
separation.
close
Hopefully.
at
Well, I mean, there's like
T-minus 40.
planned engine
And
failures
again,
on the
we've got a
booster.
couple of minutes. They
Or
can
just-
work
yeah.
through the issues. If we're able to clear them, we can still launch today.
What are the issues though?
Something
The
that we
engine's
can't,
not working?
we always stand down, turn around, recycle, fly again tomorrow.
How about we fly today? Because today would be
Again, that's
key.
really important. This is what terminal count is exactly for.
I know, it
This
is crazy,
checking
9
the
flight
vehicle,
already.
monitoring the vehicle systems as
So
it
long.
makes
What's the
its
main
way
problem
down
to solve from Flight
2-0.
8? Well, I mean,
and again, this gives
everyone
us
thought it
the
was those
catch
pogo
everything and be able to
oscillations, but
hold
it seems to
as
be that
Dan's
there's just
saying,
some engine
and
funkiness
recycle if
going
we
on.
need to, or pause so that we can work through those issues.
Just
and see
falling
something
off,
that we
yeah.
can stand down for.
All right,
And
let's
as
see.
Dan mentioned, we will be holding at T-minus 40 seconds, so in about 20 seconds from now.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we'll hold there, and they'll work through these final checkouts on. Sounds like just one of those Raptors on,
Okay.
on the first stage on Super
Well,
Heavy.
just don't start it. We don't need
As
it.
you said, we're reflying it for the first time. 29.
Maybe
of
hopefully
those
the
33
Pyraptor isn't
engines have
broken.
already been used.
All right, we're in the
for
hold.
launch, one of which has already launched.
All right, so I think from Flight 8 it was like
And
Twice,
we'll go for
and
its
is getting ready.
it was
for
about
its
15
start.
or
We just
so
heard our
minutes
flight
that
director for the day, Joe Sliker. He just shared that we are going to hold at this T-minus 40-second mark. Keep an eye on one of those.
new graphics
Raptor
are pretty
engines on
cool.
Booster.
I agree. But it was, if you remember last time from Flight 8, it was around like 15 minutes I think they could hold. And they basically got through all that and they couldn't figure it out. And Starship was on Revenge of the Raptors. Darn Raptors better work. Increased payload on key joints. They tightened the bolts. They very well could have. As long as Ship 35 lives for about an hour. Yep, that's what we need. All that matters.
If you're
It does not.
just
If that
now checking in, we
booster,
are
after
holding
separation, if
still
that
at
booster
T-minus 40
just
seconds.
explodes into a billion pieces, it does not matter. As long as that
Engine,
stupid ship
waiting for
makes it
temperatures
to
kinda
Seco.
get to a zone
and
that
doesn't
we
melt
want
on the
them
way,
to
and that'd be a
one of
nice
the
bonus,
engines
too.
On the booster, on the super heavy booster.
All right, everyone, keep your eye out
getting
on
ready
the clock because sometimes it just
for
starts
its
moving.
Second ever flight.
I don't know. I haven't heard much mission control audio for this one, so we might not get much
We'll just
indication
continue to hold.
that
Again,
it's
we
going.
Can, we can hang out here for several minutes. We held for a while on the first attempt last time, and then cleared it, and then we triggered a different issue on the ground side.
I don't think. I think the
Exactly
lagging
what
issues have been
This
cleared.
gives us the best
Hopefully.
chances at success.
Oh,
Yeah, the clock is
we're
moving.
moving. I think we're rolling. All right,
Oh.
everyone, we're launching. Is this just like a
T-minus
weird
30.
fake launch or
Let's
whatever?
listen in. Watch
Okay, no,
that
we're
first
going.
flight
It's
proven
move
super
time.
heavy.
It's showtime.
Get ready to take off from Starbase.
A little bit quieter here, just so you guys can hear me. Alright, we are go for launch. 20 seconds. Here we go. Starship Flight 9. Please, Ship 35, don't die. Ooh, well, these are completely new graphics. Oh, we're back into hold.
Delta 1, hit hold.
And we're back to hold.
We did have a hold, and looks like the clock jumped back to T-minus 40 seconds.
I have a feeling we're not going today. I have a
All
feeling.
right, so yep, we jumped out.
They have completely new graphics. That's really cool.
I did not see the deflector go off.
Oh, did the deluge
So
break
hopefully
or
we
something?
were right at around that T-minus 10-second mark.
And if we were before that T-minus 10-second mark, we do have the ability to recycle, as we mentioned earlier, back to T-minus 40 seconds.
Yeah. What's the bar on the booster
So it
engines?
looked like this time
talking
it was
about on
a
the
ground
graphic?
side issue. We're taking a look at this real quick. So again, we're gonna
I didn't.
we're back at
Yeah,
T-minus
if
40.
you're
We're
talking
gonna
about
hold for a little
in
bit.
the graphics, I don't know. Fuel probably, propellant levels.
We are still not scrubbed for the day. Give them a couple of minutes
Yeah,
to
who knows?
to work
Yeah,
through this.
who
Again,
knows
we
how
can
the
hang
fuel will
out
be
at
burnt?
T-minus
It'll be
40
burnt
for
somehow,
several
probably.
minutes. Eventually, we start looking at
Why
your
holds
bulk
everywhere?
temperatures and all of your propellant on board the vehicle. We're not actively replenishing the propellant on board Super Heavy and Starship.
Why not?
And so you don't have essentially forever to hang out before things start to warm up.
I like
You do
the
wanna
old
make
UI.
sure your
I mean, this new
temperatures in a
UI
really
seems fine too.
stable range for a
I don't
healthy
know. I
startup
didn't
on
think it really
Raptor
needed
engines.
redoing, but
They're going to work
it's
through
kind of a
this
small
issue. We can
improvement.
continue to hold here for a couple of minutes.
I wouldn't be too
Let's
enthusiastic.
launch without a little extra added excitement.
I wouldn't be too optimistic for an attempt today, for a actual like a liftoff today. But we'll see what happens. See if it's just a minor issue. See if the clock starts randomly moving again. All right, clock. Here we go.
All right, so cumulatively, we've held for a little over 3 minutes between the two holds. Again, this is a ground side issue on our tower. The techs are looking through the data right now to see if it's something that we can either work through
Well, you're not
or
catching,
if it
so
would
who
cause
cares?
us to have to stand down. So we're continuing to hang out with them, holding at T-minus 40.
Better safe than sorry. Yeah, we don't want Ship 35 blown up. That's really what we don't. I'd take a delay over Ship 35 blown up because Ship 35, gosh darn, better not
If you're
blow
just
up.
joining us, we did initially hold at T-minus 40 seconds. We
Yeah, who
continued
cares
to
about the
count,
tower? Yeah, exactly.
but recycled before we got to T-minus 10 seconds. And so we're back at a hold at T-minus 40 seconds.
But that's good. If they had gotten below
Waiting
10 and
for
the
more
deluge would have
information, the
gone,
team
they
is
would have been
checking
done
out.
for the day, absolutely.
To see if we can continue today.
Listen to me. SpaceX, launch. Depending on the issue, they might have to wait till tomorrow. Not
And we're continuing to hold here at T-minus
10
40
minutes to
seconds.
hold.
We've been holding for just about 5 minutes now. As the teams evaluate if we can
They're
continue
coming to
to
resolution.
T0
How do you
for
know?
Flight 9.
What's everyone saying yes for? Is it? No.
All right, so it sounds like we're coming to a resolution.
Oh, okay, yeah. Is my stream just delayed? Let me just refresh here. I don't want to be delayed during the launch. I don't see it moving yet. Moss sees the future. He must. Are we moving again? Am I delayed?
All right, so we're going to see the clock. It
Oh, we're
is
moving
now
again. All right.
rolling.
This makes me very nervous for them to have issues and then just try and
We
send it
essentially-
anyway.
We saw an issue with that
But okay, here we go.
disconnect to the ship. There is a chance that automation will kick us out again if we encounter the same issue. But for
Let's-
now, the clock is rolling.
Let's see if we
See
make it
if
to
we
deluge.
pass around that T-minus 10-second mark.
Let's see if we make it a deluge, then we're either going or scrubbing for the day. That's the inflection point. So 2, 1, watch your deluge. I don't see deluge. I see deluge. There we go. We're launching. Ignition. 33 and movement. We have liftoff. Flight 9 is in the air. Please God, and ship 35 don't die. All right. Should be in the roll program. Good timing, David. Good timing to get here. Looks like we have 33 still going. Beautiful shots, 30 seconds into flight. Everything looks good. Should be starting to pitch downrange now. Coming up on max Q.
T-plus 40 seconds, it's one hell of a sight from here.
I needed
We
this.
see it
It's been
arcing
too
right
long.
over top of us.
Never
We
gets
see
old.
33 out of 33
Absolutely
Raptor engines
beautiful
lit on
rocket.
Super Heavy as it starts to ascend
Alright,
skyward.
should be about max Q in about 10 seconds here. Beautiful.
Coming up on maximum aerodynamic pressure, then
All
only
right, let
about
me
a
get
minute
the-
and a half
there we
until
go,
we
through
get
max
into hot
Q.
staging.
Miko is 235, so look for hot staging in Miko at 235.
Wow,
you have the
Dan,
onboards.
that was incredible.
Look about, everything's looking good. 33 engines,
We could
13
feel
kilometers
the building
up.
shaking here. Feel the
Absolutely
vehicle's power.
incredible. You
And
see
we're
the
just
vapor
about a
trail
minute
starting
away
up?
from shutting down those engines on the booster. Again,
Come
this
on, ship
booster is
35.
going for
We
its
believe in
second
you.
time today.
Yeah, first reflight of a booster. Everything looks
All right,
good
so
on it.
hot staging coming up a little under a minute.
Here we go.
We're going to see all but the three
Getting
center
up into
engines
the upper atmosphere
turn
here.
off on the booster. So
Amazing
our version
tracking
Miko,
shot.
most engines cut off. And then just a few seconds later, hoping to see 6 engines
Keep
ignite
going.
on ship
Keep
to
going.
push it away.
Don't die. Please, God, don't die. 2 minutes. 30 seconds about until... Oh. I
All
guess...
right, hot staging, about
I guess
30
this
seconds.
is new. They're rolling it. All the engines are on, so I'm assuming this is planned, but they have not, okay, this is interesting. This is a new profile. I guess it's just for the flip direction, but
And definitely keep an
They
eye
normally
on
don't
which
fly
way
with the
booster
flaps
flips.
angled
First
this
ever
way, but-
directional flip we're going for today should flip
all right,
straight
now we're
up.
lining up with the velocity vector in preparation. We should be getting Miko here any second now. Everything looks
See
good.
those engines powering down?
And here we
Booster
go.
engine cut off.
There's a stagger down, three centers, and now looking for the ship ignition. There's hot stage.
Ship ignition.
Ship ignition. It looks
Stage
like visually
separation.
we have 6 good engines. Beautiful flip maneuver. All of them lit for the boost back.
Incredible
Awesome.
flip by Super Heavy Booster.
Okay.
You can see those 6
Okay,
engines,
no one
those 3
cares
engines
about
on the
this
ship
stuff. This
ignited.
stuff does not matter. This is the only thing
6 healthy
that matters.
rockets running on ship.
For the
on
love
its
of
way to
God,
space.
ship 35, do
Peak that
not
engine view,
explode.
booster doing the boost back.
I'm barely
Chris,
even going to
how's it
look
looking
at
over
the
there
darn
Hawthorne,
booster.
man?
It is looking
Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
Just
It is
the
looking
ship.
absolutely
Ship is the
incredible here
only
in
thing that
Hawthorne.
matters.
As
It is
we said,
accelerating. We have
6
6
healthy
engines.
on ship. We've
Nothing
got
seems to
13
be
out
on
of 13
fire.
engines on the
I
booster.
hope.
Now down to those 3, which is what we expect
Who
in the
cares?
final
Does
moments
not
of
matter.
the boost back burn. Now, as a reminder, we are
Ship
not
is-
recovering the Super Heavy booster today.
don't
we
see-
are
I don't see a
instead going
velocity
to
on
do
the
some-
ship.
Shutdown.
I don't know why they're
There
not
we have
showing
a
that,
good
but whatever.
shutdown of the boost back burn. Next up will
Alright,
be
we
the
have hot
jettison
stage
of
jettison.
that
That
hot
looks
stage
good.
burn.
Avionics power and telemetry nominal.
Okay, ship.
Great call out there that everything looking nominal aboard the Super Heavy vehicle, which is
When-
returning to
when's,
Earth, and we're going to be
when's
doing
Seco?
some experiments with it, including a higher angle of attack re-entry,
Seco 856.
as well as some engine tests as it gets closer to
It-
the Gulf.
I don't
We
know
are-
why they're not
again, because
showing
of
the
this test
speed.
not
They're not showing the
recovering it,
ship
we
for
are
speed
sending it
or
to the
booster
Gulf
right
on
now.
purpose to
Maybe-
do those
maybe they
tests.
don't
But
like-
again, you see the booster on the left-hand side of your
All the
screen.
data
You
people,
see ship
CSI
with 6
Starbase is
healthy
not gonna
engines
be happy.
continuing its ascent to its planned suborbital trajectory. Everything
All right,
going
ship,
very well
please,
so
God,
far
ship.
for Starship's
Pray
ninth
to
flight.
whatever
Now,
God you
4 minutes,
believe in.
15 seconds in.
Make this ship work. Is that a
Great
fire?
views from
That better not be a
inside
fire.
of the
That better.
aft engine area of ship. They're looking at those 3 sea level and 3 Raptor engines on the right-hand side of your screen.
I don't
The
like
booster
that.
Doing its
Watch out
LOX
for, like,
dump, that
the-
liquid oxygen dump. So because we don't need
Look
some
out
of that
for, like,
liquid oxygen
flames coming out of
propellant
here.
in
We've
its
seen
tanks,
that before.
we vent
That looks clean
propellant
this time.
out to lessen the booster's mass as it comes in for its landing.
It's locked. I don't know.
Just
I don't know what that
absolutely
is.
Gorgeous views watching these two vehicles do their respective things.
Nothing is melting down here. All the engines seem to be fine.
We're approaching the 5-minute mark into the flight. Super Heavy is descending rapidly.
Might just be a
what
purge.
can we expect
Purges
during
aren't
the next
usually
few
blue.
minutes as it does its atmospheric tests.
But we have nominal trajectories. Maybe this is something their
Yeah,
fire
now, as
suppression
we had
can deal
talked
with.
about, Super Heavy might not have a very smooth ride down. We're going to be putting it through this higher angle of attack. So we're kind of pitching it up a tiny bit, increasing drag. We've done this in wind tunnels.
I really don't like it.
In computer modeling, it
please
shows
God,
that
ship.
sometimes the control isn't great, but only one way to really prove it
Okay,
out.
well let's just enjoy the booster here for a second, because this will be
Heavy.
kind of exciting. Let's see what happens to the booster.
Igniting for its landing.
This looks like a
burn
planned
in
roll of the ship,
just
so I wouldn't be too
about 40
concerned about it.
seconds
But
from now.
let's have some fun with this Super Heavy.
And we are
Oh,
gonna
here we go,
relight
Toasty.
13 engines.
Oh,
then
it's getting
bring that
toasty.
down to 3 engines. As we talked about earlier, we will be intentionally shutting down.
Okay.
We will be
Here we
shutting
go.
down one of those 3
Let's see
center
some
engines
fun booster
intentionally to push the limits of the
6 ship
Super Heavy
engines still
booster.
good.
Chamber pressure is nominal.
Okay, good. Kind
And
of a
continuing
hazy
to
view
see
here.
6 healthy
No onboard?
engines on the ship, 3 sea level, and 3 vacuum engines still ignited.
We cannot see the booster
Super
at all
Heavy
right now.
booster's
Oh,
making
is that
its way
landing
back
burn?
down to Earth.
We can see those grid fins doing some heavy
Oh.
work.
Booster landing, start up.
Was that an
Ignited for a
explosion,
landing
or
burn.
I think it just popped. I think the booster just died. Well, I mean, who cares? Is that a little hot spot on an engine right
May
there?
have ended with that landing burn.
Okay, 2 minutes basically. Come on, ship,
Does
please.
look like we lost telemetry
Who
from
cares?
the booster once we started into that landing burn.
Please,
Did you
ship.
see confirmation that the booster did demise?
Rip booster. That means
So the
Pyraptor's dead.
booster's flight
Rip
ending
Pyraptor.
before it was able to get through landing burn, but
Okay.
again, we are not bringing
Right
that
about
back.
here is
We're
where we've had
expecting
issues
it
on 2
to
previous
make
flights.
A hard splashdown
Oh, we have
in the
speed.
Gulf.
Oh my god, finally we have velocity.
We were getting live data back the entire time through that high angle of attack
We
flight.
have
so
velocity.
That was something that was really vital for us to get during this
Okay, we're
reuse.
getting close. I don't see any
First
fires
reflighted
anymore.
booster
The
in the
little
books.
like blue stuff over
Alright,
here is
ship.
gone. This looks like clean.
There's
This
about
looks
2
clean.
minutes left.
That looks a little kind of glowy, but
In about 2 minutes,
Come on.
we expect
Minute and a
all
half.
6 Raptor engines to shut down.
a minute and a half.
That will
Ship
be
35.
Seco, basically second
Please,
engine,
Lord.
second stage engine shut off. And these are some
This would be a
incredible
huge
views
step
down
forward if we can
from
get
the
ship
aft end of
2
the ship,
into
watching as
you know,
the
into
engines
suborbit.
stay ignited with the
If we
Earth
can
in
get this
background.
thing not to blow up over the
As
Caribbean.
always, the Starship
1 minute away.
avionics team, the techs.
All the engines are still working.
I think we just heard the booster. But all right, we got about a minute left into
Come
this
on.
burn. All eyes definitely on ship as we get through the final stages.
It looks
into
under
its
control
ascent.
right
We're
now.
expecting it to start to cut those engines off
So it's
in about 45 seconds.
8:56 is the time here. That is a little glowy, but we won't need the vacuums basically.
Terminal guidance.
We won't need the vacuums after shutdown, so who cares if it's a little toasty. Okay, we should be shutting down vacuums any second now, and then the
All
sea
right,
levels
just
will
about
probably
30
come
seconds
after.
to go.
Ship,
We're in terminal guidance.
you got it, man. You got it,
The
ship.
final stages of this ascent burn.
You got it, ship. Don't die. We should be... Okay, there we go. Vacuums are off.
We did see
as planned.
shutdown of the Raptor engines.
About 10 more seconds, and then
We
the
do stagger
sea
these,
levels
so
will
we
come
do
off.
the Raptors first.
Velocity
Those three
looks
have shut
pretty
down
much right on
successfully.
target.
Sea levels still running.
And sea level shutdown?
Ship engine cut off.
Oh my god. It survived!
Ship engine
Nominal
cut off.
insertion.
The 3 most
Nominal
beautiful words in the
insertion.
English language.
And great call out that we had
did it.
nominal insertion.
Oh, it did it. Yeah. It did it.
An incredible flight test so far today. We reflew
Oh.
a super heavy booster for the very first time in 9 test flights. Ship is in its orbital trajectory. Again, it's going to remain suborbital for
You're
its
right,
mission
Moss Scanley.
today.
I got to agree with you there. Yeah, that's fine. They'll be able to control it. They'll be able to control it.
It ignited all
It's
6
fine.
of its engines and made it all the way through SECO just now.
It didn't look like it was spinning like Flight 3 spinning. I hope it isn't. That'd be annoying, but at least we made it to SECO. That was just, thank the Lord.
What a moment.
Incredible.
All right,
And
but I
we got-
mean, that's
We kind of saw a
still lots
booster
to
pop.
come for the rest
I mean,
of
it's
this
not. It's not
flight.
spinning too well. I guess it looks like it's
per
spinning a little
usual.
bit, but
I need to collect myself. Hey, Chris, how's it going over there in Hawthorne, man? How's everybody doing?
I think the elation and the excitement and the happiness at what
here we'll turn these guys off. I feel like if this was not a controlled spin, I feel like it'd be tumbling. This looks it's very spinning only on one axis, right? You'd expect to see more tumbling as if it was an uncontrolled spin. Although, I guess the nose is kind of dropping a little bit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe this will be. They might, because they have to do the deployment test. We'll see if they line it up for the deployment test or what's going on.
But we were able to clear those, one on the Raptor, one on the tower.
But we are spinning a lot.
Lift off successfully from Starbase. 33 out of 33 Raptor engines lit on the Super Heavy. All 6 engines lit on ship, bringing it to its planned suborbital trajectory around Earth. But as Dan said, we've got a lot still coming up in our flight sequence.
Yeah, but
So
it's
coming
done
up
at
T
least
18 minutes, 26
it's at
seconds.
least
We'll
done
have
2
the first
spins
deployment
already.
of simulated Starlink satellites.
Unless they're just letting
planned
it go.
from Starship. That will be followed at about T plus 37 minutes and 49
I'm
seconds
not sure I
by the
love
relay
what I'm
of a
seeing
single
right now.
Raptor sea level engine.
This
in
looks
space.
like
It's gonna
tumbling
help
to
us
me.
gather data on our ability to do a deorbit burn for future Starship missions that will go orbital. And then, of course, one of the biggest tests yet to come is the new heat shield modifications to Starship.
I don't know if we're
And
getting to
that'll
that.
start with re-entry into Earth's atmosphere at about the T plus 45 minute
This
mark,
looks
which
very
should take about
tumbly.
16, 18 minutes to complete. And now today's re-entry is going to test that heat shield like we
I don't know,
said.
maybe I'm just
specifically how
being-
Starship will
Well, no, it
hold
looks
up to
a lot more
100
controlled now,
missing heat
actually.
shield tiles on its
It looks
thermal
less spinny
protection
now.
system. Now,
Yeah, you can actually
we
see.
purposely took those 100.
You can see that the vapors moving away. It's not, the vapors are moving all very consistently, right? If this thing were like changing its trajectory a bunch, you'd see like I think you'd expect to see the vapors kind
heat
of
shield tile over Starship.
the direction being a
very
little more
critical
erratic.
Test coming up, and then after that we'll have the final descent where we will again be pushing Starship to its limits. We definitely pushed the booster to its limits today to gather
40
data.
minutes
and we're
control.
gonna be
So,
doing
well,
the
it needs to
exact
be
same
probably
thing
at least sort of
on
controlled
that
to do
ship,
the deploy
seeing how the
test,
ship
right?
handles various flight
Unless
conditions.
they'll
that
just
we
deploy
will
the
need to
Starlings
fly
if
in
it's
as we look to
randomly
one day
tumbling,
soon
but who
bring
knows?
ships back to Starbase for catch and
It
reuse.
is definitely turning.
Now, while there are payload simulators on Starship for deployment today,
I can't
as
say
we will
I
see
love
in a few
this.
minw, the primary data and the primary payload for today.
Let's hope they have a
is the
camera on
data.
one of them.
And today, just like with Starship's previous test flights, that
Alright,
data
so
is
payload
coming
deploy
to us
is at
courtesy of our
1826.
Starlink network. In fact, it is from Starlink
It
that
could
you
be
are
on
seeing
a
these
barbecue roll for
wonderful views
thermal.
of
Oh, that's
ship
a good
in
theory,
space
Lampier.
right
Yeah, they
now.
could just be rolling it just so they don't get
and I
anything
can't
too
wait
hot
to
or
see
too cold.
Starlink really provide those epic
You could
views
actually
and that
totally
data
be right,
transmission
Lampier.
during reentry,
I
which
hadn't
is
thought of that.
very, very critical to getting that data during reentry. So,
We'd expect
Dan
it
and
to
Jesse,
be more of a
it's
roll.
been an exciting day so far. There's more to come as we get ready for Starship's first ever payload deploy. What
They
can
have
we
heat
expect
shield?
next year
Well,
in the next few minutes?
Thanks, Chris.
If it would be
Just going
controlled-
to reiterate,
well, I don't
thank
think-
you to the
I don't think the RCS is. I think this is just a dump. I think they're just dumping excess propellant right now. I don't think the RCS is firing, or the ullage thrusters are firing. I think this is just see, they're not really firing right now. This could just be planned.
trajectory as Starship, meaning
More
they will
yawing than
passively
rolling. Yeah,
re-enter
like
the
yawing would be
atmosphere,
kind of a weird
just
thing
like
to do if
Starship.
you're doing it for
With
thermal
tests like
reasons.
these, we can see how Starship's payload deploy systems work in flight while ensuring that the
I saw tiny
simulator
jets.
satellites
Yeah, but,
pose
well,
no
I don't
safety
know.
risk to people on Earth or for other satellites in orbit. Now, this also ensures that any parts of these simulator Starlink satellites
purple?
that do
Look, they're
survive
coming into the
re-entry
night side,
splash
so this is
down
like sunset.
harmlessly in the middle of the
Like, if they
Indian
go
Ocean.
for the payload demo, I would probably assume this thing
And
to be
then
on the
before
correct
we get there,
trajectory.
though, we're going to have to open up that payload deploy
Yeah, we'll see if
door.
this door
So
opens.
we've only ever done that one time before.
We haven't
Pretty
seen them
sure it
mention
was
anything
Flight
about any
3.
tumbling,
Someone
so this
on the
might just
internet,
be
please
planned.
check me. But that was the only time we ever opened it. And we've had Starlink simulators on the last 2 flights, but we haven't gotten to this moment.
Yeah, we
We're
haven't,
able
have
to
we?
Open up the payload door and start deploying.
Had a camera.
these.
Oh, I really hope. There's been a
It's
lot
gonna
of
be
people
pretty
hoping for
cool.
there to be
We've
a
got them
camera on the
stacked
Starlings.
inside of the
I really
Starship
hope there
payload
is.
bay. And we'll have
They
potentially
haven't
a couple
me-
of views. You saw one
Oh,
camera pop
oh.
up. Yep, there we go. Look
okay.
inside of the payload bay of Starship. You can see them stacked down in the middle of your view. There's kind of 4 on either side, so they're sandwiched on top of each other, a stack of 4 right behind each other.
Snowing, yeah.
And then we're gonna pop the door open. It's on the right side
Oh,
of your
this
screen,
will be
so
kind
we'll
of
see that open up,
sketchy.
and then start
The door
firing
opening.
those Starlink simulators out into
The tumbling
space.
seems. I don't know. I don't want
We
to
are
keep.
expecting the payload door
Really
to
hope
open
there's camera on the dump. I really hope there is.
a little
They,
over a
they
minute
haven't
from now.
mentioned anything about it, so I'm not
And
exactly.
once that payload door is open,
sure there
about
will
a couple
be.
minutes later is when we will start dispensing those Starlink simulators.
That's a
What a
view
great
right
view.
at the bottom of the stack. So should be able to see them kind of firing out from right there. So really cool.
So much dust in
And
there.
eventually
Well, that
these-
yeah. I
these
mean,
are
it
gonna
could be.
carry
I don't know what
dozens
that.
of
It could be.
the next
It
generation
could even be like
Starlink
sand
satellite
particles.
into
I don't
space,
know.
and those are gonna enable some truly insane things in terms of speeds from space.
Look
and
forward
what
to
we're
the-
able
yeah,
to-
but this is
what
like
we're able
continuous
to do.
spinning, though. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't.
Yeah, Starlink's been really great.
It's-
for
it could be
Starship,
ice, too, yeah.
Obviously, getting
I don't
live
know.
video
It's
back
really
is
hard
really
to
cool,
speculate
but
on the
just
spinning.
the
But if
amount
you
of
just look at the
high-speed
pitch, you can see the
telemetry
pitch
they were able
is
to get back
slowly
is
rising.
insane. And for a
And obviously
development
that
program,
doesn't
that's
show
kind of
yaw and roll
everything.
either. So
We're in excess of 130
We're
or
cold from the
160. My
yeah,
numbers are
I mean, it
fuzzy
very
right
well
now,
could
just
be
like
that.
my brain is. But well in excess of 100 megabits per second of downlink.
Any-
A
I
lot
mean,
of that gets
this
eaten
thing
up
is
by
not
video. We've got
pressurized, so
dozens of cameras across Starship. We
any
added
sand would
several
have very
more.
likely just
For this
shot
flight,
out.
you saw a couple of those. as
But
we
we're about a
had
minute or two away
essentially
from the.
360 degrees. Oop. Open the pod bay door, Hal.
Oh. We open in here in a minute or. Dan has gone very quiet. If he comes back and says, "We are now hearing,"
And
that's
we are
not gonna,
expecting the payload door to open
that wouldn't be a good sign if he says
any
something
moment
like that.
now. So we're watching out for that. Again, you're looking at the inside of Starship.
Is the
as
door
it's
just gonna break?
suborbital.
Have they tried pressing the button like a couple times? They tried turning it off and on again? Yeah, I mean, no, you're right, Furs. I mean, it's good. Very big rocket.
We heard the door open was in progress.
Did it break?
It was unable to actuate all the way open, so they are going to close it back up.
Try again.
Hal told me no. Said, I'm sorry, Dan.
Actually-
Can't do that. Looks like we won't get the door open today.
Oh, so the door broke.
But
Door
that's
broke.
okay.
This
This
is
is
why we
obviously
test.
a test we want to be able
They
to
forgot
do
to set action
before
groups,
we're
yeah.
deploying full-on Starlinks. But the real focus for this, now that we are
The
in
door
space,
broke.
is getting to that reentry.
Well, now we get to see
That
how
is
it does with
the most critical phase of
see
Starship.
how it does returning
that we still
payloads,
have to
right? Because
prove.
now there's going to be Starlink during reentry. See if we can return payloads. Explosive bolts, yeah. Why don't they just try again? I mean, there's no harm in trying. It's not like you're going to blow up the rocket. Uh-oh.
All right, well, so it does look like we're not going to be able to deploy Starlinks today, but we should have pretty frequent views from Starship. They might cut in and out every once in a while, but
We're back.
should be pretty regular. We are
Hello,
in
Bobby.
darkness right now, so might be a lot of black, but the cool part is
did
when
show
we
up
get
late.
to reentry, it's going to be daytime.
Yes, and we did that on purpose so that we can get
So
some
the guy up there
live
with the
daytime
crowbar, yeah.
views as ship is returning back to Earth.
We got to get,
All
like,
right,
the
so
Jeb up there.
We are going to take a break, enjoy these views as we get them, enjoy.
Unpopular opinion, remove FTS and use it for the door instead, yeah. Why did the altitude have decimal point accuracy at launch, but now it doesn't? Because I think they were going for 3 digits. Right, so 20, right, because 188 kilometers, 22.4 kilometers, something like that, right? So it's always three digits. you know? I think that's probably why. If I had to guess. And because, like, for the descent, like, you know, you can, when it counts down from 900, 800, 700 meters, that's relevant. You know, 188.4 kilometers is not exactly relevant altitude. Man, I don't know what the harm is in just keep trying to, like, keep pressing the button on the door. I mean, it's not like you're not gonna blow up the ship with the darn door. The door opening is not gonna blow up the ship. Just keep pressing the, like, press the button. When you send a message, people will be able to see that you subscribe to the channel. That is true. Are they playing like the weird techno? Yep, weird techno music. Who could have thought? Who could have thought? Hey, let's do geopolitics 1549. I guess if you want. I'm not gonna like start freestyling topics here. If there's something you want to ask me about, you know, sure. I think a bigger servo on the door. They had too small a servo. That's the problem. I'll come bring some for them. In the payload pressurized, maybe the air rushing out would cause it to spin out of control. Why? I highly doubt the payload. Well, okay, a few things. Hey, there's Chris coming down from them. So like a couple things there. So if the payload bay door is pressurized, then opening the door regardless would cause crazy things to happen. And like, right? And then secondly, why would you pressurize the payload? Like, not only would you be creating like a giant pressure differential that would be structurally a disaster to handle, which, I mean, they'll have to solve that problem eventually, but it's just, you know, it's not an easy problem to solve, right? You'd have the ship would be pushing outward, the payload would be pushing outward on the vacuum with a very high intensity. But also, like, why would the Starlings really need to be pressurized? So they might put a little bit of, like, pressure in there from the ullage, I don't know, but, like, fully pressurizing it to, like, 1 ATM seems goofy. What happened to the booster? We couldn't even see the booster. I mean, we can look back at the booster. I assume it just couldn't have... Yeah, I assume it just it couldn't do it. It was too much, too hard. I mean, it was very kind of hazy. We didn't get any onboard, so, like, the booster... Like, it was trying. A lot of rolling for the ship this mission. Like this is the view we get, right? Like, it's coming down. You can see it pitching. I don't know if you can see the pitch, if they lose control of the pitch at all. I mean, they seem to be in control of it. Oh, wait, did I stutter there, or did it stutter?
3 sea level.
No, I don't want sound. Get out of here, sound. Did the telemetry freeze? Oh, the stream froze? How did I not? Oh, and then it... That was weird. Something weird is happening. Like, nothing and then explosion. Because now spaceflight have used... I'm sure NASA Spaceflight and Everyday Astronaut have better views, but they're copyrighted. It looks like one engine may not have started up, and then explosion. It looks like it just popped right at landing burn startup, so... looks like the booster couldn't quite handle it. It is a good thing they did not try a catch. Needless to say. It is a good thing they did not try a catch. Because imagine that happening on top of the launch pad. I mean, normally they're offset a little bit, but still, imagine that happening and, like, falling into the wetlands and killing all the turtles. We'll see. Report back first. See if anyone has a good shot. I think it's funny that for, like, a freaking Starship launch, there's, like, 12 people at Hawthorne Mission Control. Like, at Starbase, I'm sure there's way more, but there's, like, well, 1, 2, this guy's computer broke. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people at Mission Control. That's maybe due to the direction of the flip and the ice issues. You think that the flip would have... Well, yeah, but if the flip caused issues, you would have expected... You'd have expected the boost back burn to have issues, and the boost back burn was perfect. It was 13 engines all the way through. So there's a common dome section falling on the pad. I highly doubt that happened. If that happens, send me a video picture. I'll look at it off stream. That would be very unlikely, in my opinion, if the common dome fell on the pad. Unless you're talking about like if they had relit over the pad. That would have happened. There probably would have been maybe very minor damage, but it wouldn't have been pretty. Good thing they targeted not the pad for this one. Hello, Kiwi. Vilcom. Shows the engines lighting in a pop a few seconds later. Reached over the hole. So who cares about the hole? They made it. They made it. I think the structure is because the stress of the G's of performing a landing burn at twice the size. Twice the size. And there was just a pop. Like they like the. It could just be the G's like it couldn't handle it. Not much better views than SpaceX. Yeah. Oh, the Falcon. Well, I mean, it's done plenty of landing burns. It's done 5 successful landing. Super Heavy's done 5 successful landing burns. So, yeah, I mean, who knows? It could be ice buildup. The flip could have caused something weird. Although, you know, you probably expect that to happen after. I mean, this is the point of experiment. Like, long as Scott Manley makes his video is probably already halfway done. He's probably already uploading it because he probably already knows. He already knows what happened to the ship, how the landing went. He can calculate based on the trajectory and the position of the North Star and the other Andromeda galaxy. He can extrapolate into the future exactly what's going to happen. So, 10 minutes, is that when the relight demo? We're still kind of tumbling, so we'll see what happens. 37-minute, yeah, we're 10 minutes away. I guess we can see at the booster. I'm just assuming that the trajectory was just a little too much for the booster. Was what caused it to. I mean, they were obviously very openly experimenting. So, you know, we'll see if there's anything funky happened during the flip and stuff. How has Starship evolved since Flight 4? Well, you know, I don't know how much time you got. That's a lot to catch you up on. Massive flames in every astronaut's view? Yeah, it probably did. I mean, the landing burn probably just popped it. Yeah, there's the stagger down. Stagger down looks fine. Hot stage looks fine. The flip looks as planned. Relight looks good. Boost back shutdown. Let's see when it was expected to be. Well, I was basically staring at this section for most of the time. So, boost back shutdown at 3:27. You can see the booster in the background there. We'll see if any engines shut off weirdly. The attitude looks probably as expected for the booster. All right, it should be staggering down. That looks good. 25, 26, 27. Shut down exactly as on time. Hot stage jettison. That looked perfect. That looked like an absolutely perfect boost back burn. The inception doesn't show much. It caught fire during Grencher. Was that? Oh no, that's planned. That's just hot gases. You're talking about when it gets all kind of toasty right here. Well, that's happened on every other catch. That's just on every other descent. That's just hot gases getting trapped between the engines and kind of getting on fire. Like I believe it's you can see the venting, the engine chill when they chill the engine. The gases come out the bottom. Obviously, the booster is going down, so the gases the booster runs into the gases. You know, atmosphere makes them hot, and then I'll look at the Everyday Astronaut stream. I can't show it for copyright reasons, but I'll show it real quick. I'll look at it on my own here real quick. Why do I have 8 pings? Oh my god. Did someone ping me? Golden Gamer. That is a darn lot of pings I have. Why is my YouTube not working? Okay, let's see. What did Everyday Astronaut have? Oh, he doesn't have much. What? I don't see anything on his stream. I don't know. It's hard to look and stream at the same time, so I'll... Ship? What happened? What's happening to the ship? Oh, is it really tumbling? That doesn't seem good. That seems suboptimal. Wait, it stopped! Now it's tumbling the other way. Oh my god. You spin me right. That is a very fast tumble. Eek. That probably isn't supposed to happen. Probably. No, I don't think it's reversing. I think it's just going all the way around. Remember that leak we saw? I'm talking of like the missing engine. There's been a lot of leaks. A lot of leaks, Furs, which... That is a lot of tumbling. Stop further into the burn, so it's not the cause. What stopped further into the burn? Oh, you mean you mean the leak, like the not the like leak. Okay, this is a problem when one word has different meanings. You mean like the propellant coming? Yeah. Oh, the flaps have come alive. Okay, yeah. So I think this confirms this is an unintentional carousel ride. Because the flaps are now trying to... I don't know, maybe the flaps are better than Flight 3, and the flaps can control it this time, but I would not... They came...
The entry, we are suborbital, so no matter what, we are going to enter. However, this lowers the chances for it to be a controlled re-entry.
Yeah,
so if you
might.
think back to Flight 3, when we had something similar happen, just the end symptom of a loss of attitude control. We were in a roll by the time we hit re-entry. So we are going to re-enter. We should hopefully still have views. The Starlink satellites are pretty robust to still maintaining contact. We've got 4 of those terminals on the vehicle, and they're pretty robust to maintaining contact even when we are in a spin, essentially. So we should hopefully continue to keep live views. It's going to still be dark until we get a little bit closer to entry.
Crap, no ship landing.
We are a little bit, we're coming up on Africa. I believe we do swing just to the south of that continent. And by the time we start heading out over the Indian Ocean, we'll start heading into a sunrise. So, not looking great with a lot of our on-orbit objectives for today, where we were hoping to do the PEZ deploy and reload an engine, and then really importantly get into that controlled entry to really put the heat shield through the ringer.
It'll probably be so far gone by the time it gets to the atmosphere. It's probably just going to die. I would highly doubt that unless these are some magic flaps, I would highly doubt the flaps' ability to get this thing back under control. Well, I guess this is a mild improvement over Flight 8. I can't say this was a substantial improvement over Flight 8, but, you know, it is better at least. Not much better, but better. So, yippee. Ish. Yippee-ish. Pretty sad, yeah. I guess we're back to Flight 3. They talk before launch, yeah, I mean... Can't be thrilled about this. V2 is bad? I don't think it's necessarily bad. I mean, V1 had the same issue, right, with the spinning. Not sure why they didn't feel the need to fix it, but, you know, whatever. But you can see we lost it instantly. There was never attitude control, so that's something interesting to note. there was never, it's clear there was never, from the moment Seco happened, they lost attitude control. So they never had any semblance of attitude control. ULA took out the RCS, must have. But there was never attitude control, so something must have happened on the way up. What is that glowing in the background? Probably just venting, reflecting off the sun or something. Man, so this will be 3 flights in a row without really a good heat shield test. That's the sun setting in clouds. There you go. That could be it too. Yeah. The center engine gimbal skipping the show. Well, I mean, yeah. Well, I mean, during the Ascent burn, that's really where 99.9. I don't even know if they even used the RCS thrusters during the Ascent, because I mean, there's the engines gimbling are so much more powerful than the thrusters. But you know, once you're in the vacuum, and you know, once you're in microgravity, you need the RCS thrusters to control. Could also be a sunrise. Yeah, but it's been like this for a while. I mean, we would expect them to be getting close to sunrise at this point, but it would be, yeah, it would not be very efficient to use RCS on Ascent. Yeah, you are correct, because yeah, they really wouldn't be able to do much. All right, so obviously there's gonna be no relight. About 10 minutes away from entry. Flaps returning again? I mean, yeah, but there's nothing they can do. I don't know. They haven't shown a little attitude thing, so I don't know. Maybe they've regained control. Is the ship okay? It is very much not okay. It is, I mean, pointed the wrong direction. Right? You can clearly see. Oh, we have the forward flap moving. You can clearly see the oncoming air is coming this way, and the ship is going that way. And normally you want the heat shield to be pointed, you know, the other way. The ship is drunk. It might just be.
To the exact same trajectory as before. We were not able to get that payload door open and deploy those nose cones. We've been dealing with some leaks on the ship. This is also what led to that loss of attitude control. So
there is a leak.
At this point, we are kind of in a spin, and we are also going to be skipping that Raptor relight. If you've followed...
So there was a leak. So the darn thing broke again. Drunker than a sophomore in prom night, yes, sir. Just in extreme distress, yeah. Like, yeah, okay, yeah. So I bet it had the same issues. I bet the Flight 7 and Flight 8 issues happened again. And this time they were just able to kind of mitigate the... It wasn't bad enough that the engines failed, but like I wouldn't be surprised if like a downcomer popped a leak. And now we've lost all control. I assume this would mean that a relight would be impossible. They're testing artificial gravity, yeah.
Way down our...
Alright, we were looking at it for like 4 or 5 minutes, and we haven't seen it like turn space side yet, so it's at least coming in this way. You know, this direction might not be all that stable, but...
Yep, as it continues on, we are about 10 minutes away or so until we start getting into entry, and the light will start to pick up as we cross the Indian Ocean. And we'll start to see a little bit more daylight, and we'll, as always, as long as we maintain that comm link, get some plasma on the way in, and start to bring the Starship back to the
yeah, maybe they were able to mitigate a fire from starting.
About 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, sorry,
so we'll check back in with everybody.
They could have mitigated some like fires starting, but it seems like there was a leak. Seems like there was a leak. Seems like Flight 9 is suffering a very similar fate to Flight 8 and Flight 7. Exciting. At least it made it to suborbit. Disappointed. Send it to Galveston. Ship 35 doesn't get to go to Cancun. Send it to Galveston. Our arms are fixing. So yeah, I mean, did I sabotage ship? Hey, my hands are clean and all this. That's a real shame, though. We're flying the wrong way, ship. Should be visible soon, yep. And it will be on the wrong side. The wrong side. Firing RCS, is it? It's hard to tell. We're in kind of a weird hypnotic zone of re-entry right now. You're 50 seconds ahead, really? Why is my stream so delayed? Let's see here, 40:25. See a refresh out if I'm any closer. Oh yeah, wow, how did I get so delayed? I got very delayed there somehow. Yeah, this is plasma starting. It's like pulsing. Ew. That is yeah. Very hypnotic plasma. Yeah, plasma is normally not supposed to be on that side of the ship. Normally you want the heat shield side to have the plasma on it. Come on, flaps, turn it around. Oh boy. Well, that's really just playing the techno music over it. Like, yeah, whoa, we're about to blow up. We're about to melt. Melting time. It is, I think, way lower than it's supposed to be right now, because entry is supposed to start in like 5 minutes, and it is very clearly, well, dying right now.
All right, so we are 42 minutes and change into today's flight test. You're seeing the light show start as Starship is getting closer to its re-entry. If you're just tuning in, we were able to successfully make it to orbit.
Barely.
Run into a couple of issues as we've coasted to our entry point over the Indian Ocean.
And now we're dying.
We had lost attitude control of the ship and entered into a spin. The team made the call to do what's called passivate the vehicle, so we're essentially venting all of the remaining propellant overboard, and it's going to make an uncontrolled re-entry. Important to note, this is a contingency that is planned for, and we clear the zones in the Indian Ocean where these entries could take place.
Viking send-off,
so we're not going to come down exactly where we would have had nothing happened, but we do clear a
So are they not even trying to control it on the way down, I guess? You got decimal point accuracy, yeah. So I guess they're not even trying to control it.
There are always risks, essentially, with these flight tests.
Yeah, RIP Ship 35. You did like very slightly better than Ship 34.
One thing to note is we will actually still re-enter in our planned airspace zone, which is good. That is exactly.
So I guess Ship 35 is gonna rain debris. It looks like cars are going back to the pad. Ship 35 is gonna rain debris just like 34 and 33, but the debris will rain somewhere else. Someone else will get showered in debris this time. So. I'm serious. No, they said they pacified
heat shield has never been flown before. The history of space flight.
They're not even going to try. I don't think
that's something that Starship still has to crack. And so we had a whole range of experiments on this one. At this point, and we just started to lose some of our cameras, so it's very possible that we'll start to lose contact with Starship a lot sooner than we would have if it was a nominal re-entry. So we are expecting it to break up essentially on its re-entry over the Indian Ocean. So not able to do a lot of our on-orbit objectives today, but just the fact that we, got it into space was just a really big moment for a lot of the team.
Yeah.
And another thing to note is that Super Heavy did fly for its second flight today.
Yeah, and it blew up. Revert to fab, revert to, yeah, we gotta revert. I mean, this telemetry is kind of coming in a little shaky, a little in and out on the telemetry. Disappointing, yeah. I mean, you have to say this was a disappointing flight. Less disappointing than 7 and 8, but still a little bit of a letdown. We gotta lock back in here, SpaceX people. We gotta lock back in. We gotta get back to the flight 4 and 5 days. That was peak. 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, and 6 were the best. Yeah, we're at. Oh, we have cameras.
So this is a view essentially on the top part of Starship. You're looking up at the payload bay and towards the nose cone. So
Oh my.
views are going to be a little bit scarce potentially, as again we are in essentially a tumble. We had lost that attitude control. So Starlink, when it's able to connect, able to feed this down. We are at the phase where we would expect entry to start within the next minute or so.
Oh my!
We are entering uncontrolled, but again, we're entering into an airspace.
This is interesting.
And a sea space that is cleared and
Hey, at least
monitored
these views
in
are
advance of
interesting.
launch and before we get to this phase.
Heck, maybe we'll.
And with the views that we are able to see, you are seeing a lot of that plasma build up. During re-entry, we do expect the vehicle to see about 1,400 degrees Celsius, and there you can see the flap.
Oh boy,
feeling that temperature there, a little bit melting away. But
due to the bitter end, yeah.
With the spinning of the vehicle,
it'd be crazy if they get telemetry all the way down.
Controlling the attitude of the vehicle. So this is now at this point in the test flight. It is expected to see it begin to demise a little bit on its way back down to Earth.
Yeah, and so we'll stick with it for as long as we're kind of getting any reach back from the ship as it starts to make this re-entry.
I think we might have lost telemetry.
Yeah, so it's re-entering actively right now. And again, we did do what's called passivation. So you essentially vent all of your excess propellant overboard before you hit the atmosphere. That's a safety measure we can take on the ship while you still have contact with it. So that was done. It's now coming down in the predetermined hazard area that was cleared ahead of flight. Not controlled, so we're not going to get all of that re-entry data that we're still really looking forward.
And it's dead. I think we're gonna say that's the end of the Viking funeral for Ship 35. We got a couple of cool views of the flap melting off, but doesn't play. Very well could be. Yeah. So I think we're gonna go ahead and call that a wrap. I don't think we're getting any more data from that thing. I think we're done. We'll see if Elon decides to even give their presentation, or if he'll be, I don't know, too ashamed. Try again the next flight. Hopefully the next flight happens relatively soon. More vids, please. Maybe. The flight 15. I don't know. I mean, things were looking like on a really good trajectory around flights 4, 5, and 6. Things were going great. It was massive improvement. You know, flight 4, we got the first ship, the first booster successful splashdown, the first ship re-entry with the little flap that could, right? The melty flap. Then flight 5, we had, it was still a little melty, but it landed on target, and there was the first catch. Flight 6. You know, the catch aborted because the tower was broken, but the booster still landed in the ocean, in the Gulf perfectly, and Flight 6 had that amazing, Ship 31, I think it was, had an amazing flight, doing a really cool descent and flip maneuver and landing. We got some cool shots of. And then, you know, Flight 7, 8, 9, we've hit a little bit of a funk. We've hit a little bit of a funk. So we'll get rid of those guys for now. But hopefully Flight 10 ends the funk. Hopefully. I wouldn't say he's the only one who does work, but I don't know. I don't know. It might be nap time for me. Yeah. Disappointing, right? Disappointing. Send him to Galveston. According to him, well, maybe. Well, he's got to get better then. Send him to Galveston. Then I'm going to go to Cancun. Galveston. Alright, well, yeah, I think I'll wrap up there. I'll see you guys at the latest for Flight 10. You know, unless there's some other thing that caused me to make some videos earlier. But yeah, for now, plan Flight 10 will be the next time we all get together. Enjoy a little bit of a Starship launch. Hopefully a little more successful than this one. Hopefully, you know, just a little more. Hopefully we have attitude control and, you know, maybe a booster catch again. Booster catches are always fun. Always fun indeed. Some space workers said things in Starbase. Yeah, I saw the tweets. Yeah. Alright, yeah, I mean, I'll watch some NSFs, remember the astronaut, see Scott Manley's video when it comes up. But yeah, yeah, disappointing. But yeah, so I'll let you guys continue on with the rest of your day. I'll continue on with the rest of my day. And, well, I think we'll just leave it at that. So thanks for watching. Until next time, please rate or comment to this video. Once again, thank you for watching. Until next time.